Now time to take you through the penultimate starting grid of Heat Stay. It's race 11, Heat 3. Bassini Rotax is your starting grid. Tommy van der Stroys will start on pole position. Alongside him will be Luca Thiel in the 399. Enzo Bol and Tom Langlois, Enzo Bol and Mika van der Pavet due to start on row 2. Tom Langlois and Jasper Leenerts on row 3. Robbie Stolder due to start 7th on the inside of Ralph van der Pavet, but according to his transponder, hasn't crossed the starting line, so might be starting from the dummy grid. Sebastian Koch and Sverre Ubben will line up on row 5. Bram Plomp and Macaulay Bishop, row 6. Then it's Kevin Navis and Scott Westhovens. Jake Bezelbeck, winning by 68 seconds, starts on the inside of row 8. Alongside will be Mateo Dankovic. Jaden Teen, Martin Gaiskens, Lawrence Herboz, and Vincent van Kerkhoffen ran at the top 20. Jori Schoens, Pat Gubbles, Wout Kirstens, Freddie Ingram, Aida Schmeta, Alexandre Lemaire-Sicre, Iva Anagnostiidis, Dante Sima, Baptiste Michadier, and Manolo Senda ran out the top 15 rows, with Lloyd Hare, Giorgio Markenstein, and Daniel Stell rounding out the 33-strong grid once again. So there will be a gap where the 317 of Robbie Stauder will be starting. So after this, we'll have just the junior Rotax final heat, and then it will be time called on the racing action today here for the opening race day of the 2024 BNL Karting Series season. Also heat stay for the 2024 BNL Karting Series kickoff. So the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry for the final time for Senior Rotax here today. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are on. Lights are out first time. We are underway as the field hurts its way down into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. It's going to be very, very tricky to negotiate your way through this. The drivers can use the runoff area on the exit of turn number 2 on the opening lap. After that, they can't use the runoff area at all. But now it's just dependent on who is going to put it a little bit on the line, so to speak. And look at the spray with the sunshine now hitting the circuit. You can just tell that these drivers are going to be putting everything on the limit. And it's so, you can see all 2 have already gone off of the Europlan, and one's gone hurling into the air, back axle up and down, and still manages to keep it planted, throttles up, and goes straight over. Robbie Stauder, I've just been informed, is a non-starter in the 317. So 32 drivers taking the start. As a move by, looks to be Jaden Teen has made a move. Jake Bezelbeck, unfortunately, will not be getting the, making the biggest play I've ever seen in a Rotax race ever to win by 68 seconds. Tommy van der Stroys, however, has a lead over Jaden Teen of 2.1 seconds. Enzo Bol in 3rd. Mika van der Pavet, Sverre Ubben, Jasper Leenerts, Macaulay Bishop, Ralph van der Pavet, and then we've got Tom Langlois and Mateo Denkovic running at the top 10. So some drivers trying to make some moves up the order. Daniel Stell in the number 303 has made his way up from 33rd and last on the grid. That's 10 places gained effectively, even with the non-start of Robbie Stauder in the 317. You can see that some of the drivers are using the curbing going through into the entrance into turn number 8. Lehnert's not being one of them. So with 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go, again, still a very heavily saturated circuit. So snap-on understeer going through corners, especially through turn 2. Snap-on oversteer when you're trying to power out of corners like, say, turn 10 and 11. It's incredibly difficult. And then whoever went up into the air, that person had bravery and then some. Right, we've had a little bit of a development. Martin Gaiskens has dropped down the order. So has also, I think, Martin Gaiskens has dropped down to... Oh, I can't... Oh, right, yellow flags at Marshall Post 7 heading into turn 12. I'm going to try and see if I can, from my point of view... there is a kart stranded on the racing line at turn 12 that's just managed to get going again. But I'm not too sure if there is somebody else. Okay, Marshall's going back to the post, but whoever that was, it might have been Idish Mehta in the 350 on the Birilat Middle East entry. Meantime, Macaulay Bishop looking to go up the inside of Enzo Boll. They nearly clash wheels coming out of turn 9, and Bishop gets through. And, Enzo Boll is not... Oh, that was a bit rough and ready there from Enzo Boll, I'm going to be honest with you. Macaulay Bishop, nice and clean through the inside. And Enzo tried to go around the outside of... Well, he was side by side with him going through turn number 10. And now Bishop is going to go up the inside and he's sideways whilst applying the brakes. Snap-on understeer, or chronic understeer. Keeps it around the outside at turn 2. That's actually Van der Pavet that's with him. So, yeah. Interesting decision there on Van der Pavet to put bright fluorescent green, nearly looks radioactive. But that's also to do with the colour scheme of SP Motorsport. Some drivers will have different, on part of the crest that's at the bottom of the nose cone on the front Nassau panel. You can see on Enzo Boll's, that's orange. Mika van der Pavet says bright green, or radioactive kryptonite or something like that, possibly. So you can differentiate between the carts. That's quite a nice little trick there, Stan Pex. I have to say chapeau to that one. But yeah, Jasper Lehnertz has been in, making his way up the order. Been doing a lot, concentrating more on domestic stuff than international. So it's really good to see Jasper back in the paddock. I need to catch up with his dad Bert a little bit later on, who works in the automotive industry. 5 minutes down, 5 minutes to go. Tommy van der Stroys has a lead of 8.1 seconds. Seems like the writing might be on the wall a little bit there for that one. So far, we've had Jaden. We had Jaden Teen win a race, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember now. We've had 2 different winners so far. So Jake Bezelbeck winning race 2. And race 1, it was Macaulay Bishop. Jaden Teen got to within 2.2 seconds of him. So it is now all about, is it going to be 3 different winners from 3 different races? And it could be this and juniors where we have 3 different winners. Right, so okay, 369 has been given a penalty. 5-second time penalty for, let's have a look, 369. That is, Freddie Ingram. Push to pass as deemed by race control. So Freddie Ingram will have an additional 5 seconds added to his total race time. He's currently running P21 as, Mika van der Pavet's had a bit of a drama in his own right. Sonic has ended up dropping down to 12th position and was not too far away from Tom Langlois, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, Jasper Lehnertz going a bit tighter on the racing line in comparison with Enzo Boll through turn number 4. And just behind them looks to be, that is Ralph van der Pavet, along with Lawrence Herboz and Mateo Denkovic. But who's in front of who? It's Radenkovic ahead of Herboz. So just behind them, they've got Tom Langlois in the 355. Yellow flags coming down into turn number 10. And we've got one kart that was backwards. So someone else having a drama. So I know that, I'm not too sure. Was it Aidish Mehta? Yes, it was. The number 350 from the UAE. As Van der Stroys just keeps on putting in the pounds in the laps. Sverre Ubben now up on the inside and through at turn 2 on Luca Thiel. That is for third place on the road, so this could be Sverre Ubben's best results of this race day so far. It all comes down to that final heat. With 2 minutes to go. Van der Stroys is comfortably ahead by well over 9 seconds. He could be heading into double digits the way he's driving at the moment, because last time around he was best part of the last time around. He did a 1 minute 12.567. Jaden Teen 1 minute 12.810 and went purple in Macaulay Bishop and went purple in sector 1. So Van der Stroys could have around about a 9-second gap between himself and Bishop. Van der Stroys now is coming through turn 3 as Bishop has just crossed the line, 9.2 seconds, and was literally equal on pace. Right. What's happened to Jasper Leenerts? He's dropped outside of the top 10. Puck Gubbles now in 21st, having dropped just out of the top 20. Aidish Mehta has already started to carry on, but here's a little bit of a scramble we're seeing. There is a Croc Promotion chassis that just came into shot. There's Jasper Leenerts, Sebastian Koch, so it's Kevin Navis in the 306 entry that's been battling away with the likes of Mika van der Pavet and Vincent van Kouwkoffen. We have got just over 30 seconds remaining, plus an additional lap. We're on lap number 8 of this race. So Van der Stroys crosses the stripe now. 2 more laps to go. Bishop now will come across the line. What's the interval between the pair? 9.6 seconds. Van der Stroys just did a 1:12.4. A low 1:12.4. Bishop, a high 1:12.7. Nearly 4/10 the differential. So Tommy Van der Stroys might be able to extend that gap out to 10 seconds by the end of this race. But then that will give us 3 different winners. Macaulay Bishop, Jake Bezelbeck, and the way things are going, and it's looking like pretty much a formality now, Van der Stroys will take the win in heat number 3. Van der Pavet having to battle away in his own right. So the 398, I think, was battling over with Blam Blomp in the number 337. That's for 15th. But the timer has now officially expired in this 3rd and last senior road tax heat. Final lap for Tommy Van der Stroys is now underway. Macaulay Bishop has now got that gap to just under 9.5 seconds. But there is the race leader. Van der Stroys hasn't really looked troubled at all in this race. The first 2 races, well, it's the what-if scenario. But through into turn 7, using a yellow clear visor. And just the way he's just inputting the steering. Coming through turn 8. Now into turn 9. 3 more corners to go. Van der Stroys started on pole position like he has done for every heat. But this one is where the luck has been on his side. And he's made it work. Made it count. So Bishop, Bezelbeck. Add Van der Stroys to that list as a 301 from Bouvin Power comes out of the final corner, lights out to checkered flag, a dominant win by Tommy van der Stroys. And there is Macaulay Bishop. A great showing by the Brit from Hoddesdon. 10.1 seconds at the end of 10 laps. Sverre Ubben from GKS, take a bow. Up 7 places from 10th to finish P3. Jaden Teen, he's kept himself in the mix despite a qualifying that didn't quite go his way. He finishes P4. Ralph van der Pavet takes 5th ahead of Luka Thiel, Mateo Radenkovic, Lawrence Herbos, Tom Longois, and rounding out the top 10, it's Jasper Leenaerts. Enzo Bol, Kevin Navis, Vincent van Kerkhoffen, Bram Plomp, Mika van der Pavet ran at the top 15. Ivar Adagnostiidis, Wout Kirsten, Scott Westhovens, Alexander Lemaire-Sicre and Puck Gubbles complete the top 20. Dante Sima, Yori Schoens, Freddie Ingram, Sebastian Koch, Manolo Sendau, Giorgio Merkenstein, Daniel Stell, Lloyd Hare, Jake Bezelbeck, and Baptiste Michaudier rounding out the 30 that have now completed the distance, with Aidish Mehta from the UAE representing Biralat Middle East, finishing a lap down. Martin Gaiskens out on lap 2, and Robbie Stauder, a non-starter.